Who's going to be our go-to wide receiver this year? And also on the offensive line, I heard about Tate moving to guard. Do y'all think he's going to make a spot there?
Yep, good stuff, Johnny. Matter of fact, he was running with the ones at right guard. Is that right? Or left guard?
Yeah, he's at left guard.
He's at left, yeah.
But, Jeremiah Wright wasn't with that group for whatever reason. And again, now listen, these are drills, right?
Right.
These are not – we don't get to see the team stuff where they're actually doing reps against the defense and that kind of stuff. We're not seeing that. We're seeing little half stuff and drills and things that they're doing beforehand. So that just means he was up there first. Okay, that doesn't mean he's going to be the guy necessarily, but it is a pretty good indicator that he's up there. He's one of those veteran guys, and he's got a shot. So definitely a shot.
The go-to wide receiver, Johnny. I'm sticking with my boy Camden Brown. I think some other options, Cole, Keith, Zach.
I can't go off of Javaris Johnson.
Yeah,
I think he's probably the guy this year. I think Amari Kelly is my next guy though that I really think is going to start moving up that depth chart as we get into the season. Maybe even before. And it's not just because they put out a hype video and he made some good catches. I've seen that guy several times when he was a recruit in high school. Thought he was the real deal. Still do. I still think he's going to be good.
He had a great year last year.
Yeah, he had a good freshman year.
Zach, you disagree?
No, I'm with Cole on that. It's hard to go against him just because he's been here the longest. He's kind of had the most success out of the wide receiving group. But I'm interested to see Martner, though, because I've heard that he just looks so big and he's such a mismatch on smaller corners that they can put him in good positions and also him emerge as a red zone guy. Because I don't think we've had a really dominant red zone guy that we can just throw the ball and trust him to go get it in a long time here. And that could be huge.
Johnny, I'm going to throw something else. I don't know this guy's technically a tight end, but Friday night I asked somebody who has seen every second of every practice so far this spring, and I asked about Rivaldo Fairweather, and I got the
great one.
Good
pick. I was thinking about him too.
Top 3 in receiving for us this year. I really do think
you know what I think makes him so. What it gives him such a good shot to be good at Auburn these days, and I agree with Zach. They need a guy in the red zone, a goal line type guy. I think Landon King kind of showed he can possibly be that guy. But at the same time, those are kind of low percentage plays when you think about it. Those throw ups to the fade, whatever, to the corner, whatever you want to call it, they can be good for you. But if you have a big guy who can run too, watch out. Now you got something. This guy can outrun linebackers. He can bully, DBs. I'm just curious if he's just going to be a full-time tight end. Is he going to be a slot guy too? I think there's so many ways they could use that guy.
Just on paper, if you've got
go ahead.
Just on paper, if you've got Rivaldo Fairweather, Camden Brown, Javaris Johnson, and one other guy on paper, that's a pretty damn good little group.
Yeah,
not bad. Jay Fair,
another guy. My guy. I think when we think of Hugh Freeze, we think of tall receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Big part of what he likes, but that means that underneath stuff. I think there's some like Ryan Davis type potential.
I hear you.
48 catches, 745 yards, something like that. Who knows? We thought it could be last year. Of course, who's going to be the one throwing the ball? We don't.
Great question.
That's the question that really needs to be answered first. Right now, it's either going to be TJ Finley or Robbie Ashford or Holden Gerner. Still looking to see what Auburn's going to do at quarterback after the spring. I think we all agree we would be more surprised if Auburn didn't bring in a transfer quarterback.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think we all would. Hugh's not going to come out and say it. If he's even leaving the possibility open, then that ought to tell you a lot. That says a lot.
Well, Jeff, don't you think just for numbers purposes? Yeah. Because if TJ doesn't win the job, everybody thinks he's leaving anyway, right? And if Holden's third string, does he?
There might be two.
Third And
We
then
got
Walker White coming in next year. Maybe
Hank
it's
Brown as well.
I mean, you just don't know.
But if TJ leaves, you've got one guy with college experience,
Yep.
a redshirt freshman, and a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
So you might even bring in two. You might even bring in somebody who you think can compete immediately for the starting job. Maybe two. Really, kind of do an Ole Miss, right?
Jeff, do you think they need to bring in like a guy competing for the job and then like a Grant Lloyd type? Just
Yeah.
for numbers?
Yeah.
So
That's
remember, the Maryland had all these guys get hurt and they were having to play linebacker at quarterback. That's what you don't want to have happen, right?
Wow. That's awesome. That's kind of awesome at the same time, but no, you don't want that.
Was it South Carolina that had to play like the graduate assistant or something?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Jason Brown, wasn't that his name?
Had to go
Yeah, he's
suit
in
up.
Texas State now.
Oh yeah.
That's very interesting deal there. He played against Auburn. I think he quarterbacked a win against that one. That guy.
Yeah.
So can I ask you guys, would it surprise you if Auburn's leading receiver is not on the team right now?
Ooh, it would.
It would
shock
surprise me. Why? Do you think there's a possibility he's not?
I think there's a possibility with the spring transfer portal that they go and get. If there's someone who comes out who just looking for a new place, they can come in and compete immediately. Because if you never know, because Hugh Freeze talked about it, that if he comes out of practice, if he doesn't think he has a guy at wide receiver, because wide receiver is so important for his scheme, I don't see why they don't make a big push for a really, really experienced guy when that second transfer portal window opens.
Keith, he even told us that, didn't he, Keith? One more wide receiver.
I wonder, and again, this is just total spitball. And Jeffrey, you got more sources down there than me. What if, hypothetically speaking, you feel really good about your tight end room, not as great about your receiver room, and so everybody thinks, oh, you move Landon King to could Rivaldo Fairweather be just a receiver only? I don't know.
You could.
I don't know. But
Hugh Freeze told us, Keith, on Inside the 20 a couple of weeks ago that there were 3 positions he still wanted transfers to fill. That was wide receiver, linebacker, and interior offensive line. Maybe on the quarterback, which again, he's not going to come out and say, hell yeah, we need a quarterback. I'm going to get one. Because what does that do to the guys on your team? But wide receiver, Zach, was one of the first positions, if not the first one he mentioned to us, Keith. Wide receiver. Need another one.
Good call. Good call.
Dog going bananas outside here, but yeah, you hear him?
Yeah.